Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're continuing the Halo Armor lore series by taking a look at every single one of the Halo 3 Spartan and Elite armors. So if you do enjoy this video, then please do not hesitate to leave a like and a comment, and also if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, because this video, like all the other armor videos, took a very long time to make. So any support I would really appreciate. But anyways, that's more than enough e-begging for one video. Let's get on with the good stuff. Without a shadow of a doubt, the most iconic armor in the Halo series, and arguably the most recognizable set of armor across the entire gaming industry, the default Mk.VI armor outshines all that came before it. Originally tested on the Mk.V platform, the Mk.VI became its own evolution of the platform entirely in late 2552. When donned by the Master Chief himself, the armor became the face of the demons the Covenant wished to vanquish from existence, a wish that was never fulfilled. Developed in Songnam in Korea, the armor became the standard for all Spartan 2s still left fighting in October of 2552, and came with a swath of upgrades. It protects the user in toxic and oxygen-less environments, has anti-EMP protection, is composed of a multi-layer alloy, complete with a refractive coating to disperse Covenant plasma projectiles, has an undersuit that connects to the user's neural interface to control its internal environment, among other benefits, contains a layer of superconducting memory to allow even the most advanced AIs to interface with it seamlessly, has an extremely efficient energy shielding system powered by a smaller fusion pack, among many other features. Some of the more standout ones include the upgraded shielding, of course, and vastly improved hydrostatic gel layer, which enhances not only the user's strength, but also their reaction time. It also has recoil compensation actuators, which explains how Chief never suffers from any recoil, and an internal computer system improved across the board that monitors everything from biosignals to weapon details. Simply put, not only is the overall design simple and iconic, but the Mk.VI armor is one of the most groundbreaking improvements in military history. It's no coincidence that it saved the galaxy on multiple occasions. The Mk.VI CQB armor is simply a ported version of the original CQB armor developed for the Mk.V platform. As the name implies, it's designed across the board for improved survivability in close quarters battles. This was achieved through alternate methods of the dispersal of kinetic energy in combat, and also through improved joint mobility in close quarters. However, the Mk.VI version features a unique breastplate and shoulder pieces seemingly not present on the Mk.V platform. The shoulders are quite large yet flat, designed to not obstruct movement in fast-paced close-quarters combat, but at the same time provide adequate protection. The chest plate is relatively simple, providing more protection than the base Mk.VI body, with the addition of a combat knife, perfect for when the enemy truly reaches close quarters. When it comes to the perfect sniper target, few helmets outshine EVA. Although commonly referred to as the fishbowl, the EVA helmet is not to be looked down upon. As one of the longest running Mjolnir variants, EVA has seen use on the Mk.IV, Mk.V, and Mk.VI platforms, defining itself as a tried and tested set of Mjolnir. As the name and design implies, EVA was created specifically for operations in oxygen-free environments, such as the vacuum of space. As each upgrade to the Mjolnir platform was released, EVA received a series of enhancements, but with the release of the Mk.VI EVA came its biggest upgrade yet. The armor was upgraded to increase exo-atmospheric endurance and to also improve mobility in zero-G environments without the use of a thruster pack. The helmet was also specifically upgraded to include a single-beam laser teamcom system, useful for fireteam chatter. Although mocked by some for its use in ground combat, when it comes to EVA combat, this armor is absolutely unmatched. And no, that is not a cassette player in the chest. When it comes to heavy-duty armor designed to take a serious beating, nothing will ever outmatch EOD. From the get-go, its helmet was designed specifically to prevent decapitation, and as such was shaped such that the pressure released from an explosion would wrap around the head, as opposed to hitting it straight on. The shoulders were also designed for exactly the same purpose, and are not only extremely up-armored, but also feature minimum grabbing edges to prevent dismemberment via explosion, and the body was simply a heavily reinforced breastplate designed to do exactly the same thing. Operators who don the full EOD armor set can be free of worry when boarding enemy ships, with the knowledge that, should they be struck by an explosion or superheated plasma of any kind, their suit should remain vacuum sealed to ensure their safe exfiltration. Developed in conjunction with the fabled Recon Armor, both were designed for stealth, but Scout went about achieving this goal in a different way to Recon, by relying heavily on advanced materials to stay in the shadows. Tested by Oni themselves in Australia, the physical design of this armor is perfectly in line with its goal. The helmet keeps a low profile with an almost aerodynamic shape to it and a small visor to limit light reflection, and the body and shoulders provide extra armor without increasing the user's profile. Perfect for sniping missions. Arguably the most iconic armor in the Halo series besides the standard Mk.VI, Hayabusa is also one of the most unique armor sets the Mjolnir platform has ever bared witness to. Taking heavy inspiration from the designs of ancient samurai armor, the Hayabusa armor isn't actually Mjolnir armor. Instead, it was developed as a part of Project Hayabusa by an Earth-based think tank in 2536. This organisation, known as the RKD Group, originally developed Hayabusa with no knowledge of the then highly classified Project Mjolnir, but eventually combined their efforts with Oni to port their precious ceremonial power armour over to their top-secret platform, and thus, the ported version of Hayabusa that we saw in Halo 3 was born, now complete with all the benefits of Mjolnir. In fitting with its inspiration, the armour is extremely light, allowing its user to remain ultra-mobile. The helmet comes complete with a ceremonial Japanese-styled armor plating, covering the top of the head and with a small piece covering the mouth, almost to resemble a face mask of some sort. The visor was specifically designed to be difficult to penetrate, and as such is relatively small and gives off an incredibly intimidating glare. However, the most elite of Hayabusa operators can requisition an optional upgrade to their already powerful armor, a ceremonial katana. Few details are known about this katana, whether it ever saw use against the Covenant or, hell, even the Insurrection is unknown, but when combined with the sheer power of the Hayabusa armor, nothing would ever be able to stop its Spartan from bringing balance to the galaxy. The Mk.VI ODST helmet, just like the Mk.V ODST helmet that we already covered, is quite literally just an ODST helmet that's ported to the latest Mjolnir platform. It's made of thick titanium and coated with a heat-resistant material, and since its adoption to Mjolnir supports integration with the user's neural interface, which improves the HUD across the board. Just like the standard ODST helmet, thermal imaging also comes as standard. Pretty much anything a regular ODST helmet does, this helmet does, but with the enhancements of Mk.VI. Considering its already legendary status, porting the Mk.V helmet over to the new Mk.VI platform was really a no-brainer, and that's exactly what this helmet is, a port. It functions identically when paired with Mk.VI to how it functioned when paired with Mk.V, and as such it sports an advanced heads-up display, a very strong titanium build, and like all other helmets, a neural interface which connects to the wearer's neural implant. Filters are built into the helmet to protect the user in toxic or oxygen-less environments, as well as thermal imaging and video equipment. Whatever Mk.V could do on the original Mk.V platform it was built for, it can also do on Mk.VI. As the name implies, the Rogue helmet is designed for rogue lone wolf Spartans. Its production history is quite unique. After the fall of the Outer Colonies, roughly 10 years after the start of the Human Covenant War, the UNSC began outsourcing Mjolnir tech and other classified war materials to various private corporations, one of which being the Vestal Corporation on Tribute, who designed the Rogue helmet. It was one of the first pieces of armor born from this new era of military tech privatization, and as such, Rogue is classified specifically as a privatized Mjolnir variant, giving its already unique design an even more unique backstory. The helmet itself is very sleek, perfect to ensure its lone wolf operator retains a low profile when working deep behind enemy lines. However, despite its efficiency, Rogue only saw little use against the Covenant. The introduction of the security armor in Halo 3 marked the biggest reference to Halo's brother series yet. As such, its design is incredibly familiar to any longtime fans of Bungie's games. Originally developed in 2528 by Mjolnir Armory on Mars, it was later adapted to fit the then new Mk.V platform, before later being adapted to the Mk.VI, complete with all the additions and enhancements of the new platform. Security is an incredibly bulky set of armor, something quite obvious given the name. As the name also implies, it was built as an anti-infiltration suit. Although built for Spartans, a modified version of the helmet, more resembling the armor that inspired it, was worn by a few Marines assigned to Spartan 2 training facilities. On the Mjolnir platform, with the helmet comes a small antenna on the right shoulder. The purpose of this is unknown, but given the purpose of the armor itself, it likely has something to do with either communications or detecting any intruders. Recon, the most mythical set of Mjolnir armor across the entire UNSC. Few were ever blessed with this fabled set of armor. Rumours from the outer colonies suggest that one man was awarded the armor for suicide via traffic cone. Others that exceptional MLG skill was enough to be bestowed with it. Many even went to the extreme of begging the High Lords themselves for the armor, but few ever returned, and those who did were changed forever. The hushed whispers and crazy theories for unlocking the armor back in the day gave it a legitimate cult following, and the history of the armor itself is shrouded in somewhat the same mystery as the armor in-game. The Recon Armor was developed by Mjolnir Armory on Mars in parallel with the Scout Armor, and was designed to provide the user with exceptional stealth, but without any of the penalties to endurance. This was accomplished by reducing its thermal infrared signature, radiation emission, and by limiting the amount of reflective surfaces. Halo 3's Recon Armor will go down in gaming history as one of the biggest mysteries ever included in a game. Back in the day, people were willing to do just about anything to unlock this fabled armor, and songs would be sung for years to come about encounters with users in matchmaking lucky enough to be bestowed by the gods with this legendary Mjolnir. Right, moving over to our now honourable allies armor, let's start off with the Elite Combat Harness. Now, unlike in Reach, where each Elite armor denoted a rank, all the harnesses seen in Halo 3 are just that, harnesses, and the most widely used of these was indeed the Combat Harness. This armor set is worn by elites of all ranks, from minor to supreme commander, which is a telling sign of its efficiency. The armor itself features nano-laminate plating, which makes it function somewhat like Mjolnir, boosting the user's strength and agility. Within the harness can come a number of upgrades, from active camouflage units to flashlights and even energy daggers. The harness has remained unchanged for some 1100 years, a true sign of its simple yet effective design, and honestly is unlikely to change anytime soon. Where it was once established as a symbol of the Covenant's military prowess, it now stands as simply an efficient set of armor for those who still choose to wear it into battle and make use of its unique psychological intimidation inspired by the martial preeminence of the ancient Sangheili. The Assault Harness is actually a reissue of a pre-Covenant Elite Harness. It's designed, again, with psychological intimidation in mind, meant to damage the enemy's psyche and morale. The armor itself features reinforced aligned composites and buttress principal protective stratum, to preserve the structural coherence of underlying tissue. It also comes with ultra-resilient deltoid protection, to aid in protecting from and exerting concussive force and kinetic energy. The Assault Harness was so efficient, in fact, that when the Elites joined the Covenant, it was restricted from widespread use, a treaty seen as illegitimate by many Elites. It remained fairly limited until the outbreak of the Great Schism, where these archaic rules ceased to apply. Built similarly to the Assault Harness, the Flight Harness has a totally different use case. As the name implies, it's the primary harness for airborne combat, be it a thruster pack or piloting Covenant aircraft. To facilitate this, the helmet features a hyperwave link for easier integration with aircraft, and a multi-port mouthpiece for use with legacy Covenant fighters such as the Tarask and Gigas class fighters. The armor is more compact in design to allow its wearer maximum mobility in cramped environments, and the chest armor uses aligned composites to delay the onset of fatigue. The Ascetic Harness is one of the most unique elite harnesses in existence, available exclusively to those within the Ascetic Order. This ancient order of elites contains some of the most devout and lethal within their entire species, those who enforced ideological purity within their faith and who were permitted to read and study ancient texts. The armor worn by these elite few complements their status in the best way possible. With the return of sovereignty to the elites after the fall of the Covenant, the armor has seen more widespread use. Its helmet, with the ever-intimidating tusks and glaring gold eyes, and shoulders and chest that offer the utmost protection, are used to bring a swift end to those who would defy their order. And last, but most definitely not least, we have the Commando Harness, worn exclusively by elite Spec Ops commandos serving in the Covenant Special Warfare Group. The armor serves as a lighter yet much stronger variant of the standard combat harness, and comes with built-in hardened communication gear. The chest is streamlined for greater mobility in tighter, more close-quarters environments, and the spiked shoulders offer an intimidating silhouette. Overall, the Commando Harness is fit in every way possible for a deadly Spec Ops commando, and the intimidating righteous glare given off by its helmet is the last thing many a heretic laid eyes upon. And so, that is the lore behind every single one of the Halo 3 Spartan and Elite armors. I'm not gonna lie, researching and writing this video hit me with a tsunami of nostalgia. From getting Hayabusa for the first time, to spending hours upon hours trying to kill myself with a traffic cone and then record it and post it on the Bungie forums in hopes of getting Recon, Halo 3 and its armor was something never before seen in the gaming industry, and it's something that I don't think we're ever gonna see again, not quite like Halo 3 did it. Down below in the comments, I want to hear your favourite armor from Halo 3. I imagine we're going to see quite a few Hayabusas and quite a few Recons, but let me hear it down below in the comments. And so, with that said, I want to give a massive shout out to all of my amazing patrons for the continued support, and thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.